Ooh, here's a good one. Seth J. Bass. How do you teach or show someone the concept of groove? Groove is a very subjective, interesting topic because it's one thing to teach people how to play in time and really show somebody how to play in time, but groove is very different because there's push pull in the feel, there's push pull in the timing, and then there's push pull in the attacks and releases. So whenever I try to teach or show somebody the concept of groove, I could go on for hours, but the two things that I'm going to talk about are the timing and placement and the velocity. Now, the timing and placement, when you attack the notes, that really matters. A certain type of groove, like the Minneapolis feel, is very much a metronomic feel. And in a lot of ways, my thing with the Minneapolis feel is it should feel like a freight train just plowing forward. So it's very much in time, but it should feel like it's got so much forward momentum that it's almost rushing. It's like on the urge of rushing. And I think that also comes with the velocity side of things, like I was saying, is having a very intense velocity with that intense timing right on the edge of rushing. That kind of is where a lot of my fast groove thing comes from. But other types of feels require you to feel things a little bit behind the beat or release the notes in a different way. A lot of people talk about where to hit the notes behind the beat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, whatever. If everybody's doing that, it just feels like dragging. So it's like finding certain people in the band to feel grooves the same way, but some are pushing or pulling in different places. And then the other thing that's the other thing that's very important that a lot of people neglect to think about is when they release their notes. So are you releasing on the and of 4 or the of 4? Because those things feel different. Or are you releasing right when beat 1 happens? Those things are things to really pay attention to that can affect your groove. So the velocity of your attack and the subdivision within that feels different than where the timing is basically the same, and I don't know, the rhythm was about the same, but the velocities and the feeling of something moving up and down is very different. So if it feels like it has some motion to it and it doesn't feel just so that's going to give a different sense of groove. If I talk any longer about that, it will be 1 hour and 80 minutes, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes for those keeping track of me talking about the groove. I have to move on or I will not stop.